Hear about it. Talk about it now with Matt Patrick.
KTRH News Time is 7:16. Time for a roundtable about Super Tuesday. Joining me, some of my favorites, Rusty Humphreys. He's in Georgia, Clear Channel talk show host. I'm sure you've heard of Rusty. Jerry, how do I pronounce your last name?
Bonin,
Jerry Bonin from Oklahoma City, and Simon Conway, who's joined us before. He's in Iowa. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Rusty, I want to start with you. Is it Newt Gingrich in Georgia? We know that for sure. Newt's going to win the state. He's going to stay in the race, right?
Well, first of all, I don't normally do a roundtable, so I'm done. Thank you.
All right, Rusty, appreciate that.
Listen, Newt may win the overall thing, but here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize that Georgia is one of those complicated delegate states, and everybody's saying, "Well, he's going to run away with this." Well, to win the delegates, Gingrich has to win every district with a majority. Then he's going to cream everybody else to the point where Romney and Santorum don't pull 20% statewide. And I have a hard time believing, and I like Newt, but I have a hard time believing he's going to keep Romney down below 20% today.
And Jerry, in Oklahoma, is that more of is Oklahoma leaning more towards Santorum? Is that what I'm getting from the polls?
Yes, definitely. At one point, he had like a 41% of the vote. This was as of a week or two ago, compared to 20% for Gingrich, and actually Romney was down less than that. He was coming in third, and that's what many predict today will happen in Oklahoma, Mitt Romney coming in third.
And Simon, weigh in on Ohio. Now, that is going to be a state, if Romney should win Ohio, will that solidly make him the front runner? Will we finally stop having that argument?
You're certainly going to have an issue with Santorum. I mean, Santorum really needs to win Ohio, but the math with the way the delegates are carved up this time, even if Santorum wins Ohio, he won't win Ohio because of the lack of early organization. Romney's going to come out of there with more delegates no matter what.
All right, gentlemen, hang on. When we come back, I want to get your thoughts on who you feel would possibly be dropping out of this thing. We haven't really talked an awful lot about Ron Paul, who, of course, is a congressman from here in Texas. Want to get your thoughts on whether or not Paul moves forward, and whether or not Santorum or Gingrich possibly drops out, depending on what happens. Joining me right now, Rusty Humphreys. He is a talk show host, syndicated host from Georgia. Jerry Bonin, news director, KTOK, Oklahoma City. Simon Conway from Iowa, another Clear Channel talk show host, all good buds. Jerry, I know you got to run. You got to do the news there in Oklahoma City. So let me start with you. Who do you see dropping out? I mean, if Gingrich doesn't do as well, and Rusty suggested that maybe he won't do as well in Georgia as he thinks he will do, does he drop out? Is it Santorum that drops out if things don't turn out well?
I see Gingrich dropping out, Santorum and Romney continuing along with Paul. Look, Ron Paul's not going to drop out, is he? I mean, it's a movement for him. He knows he cannot get the nomination, so the one who suffers the worst today is going to be Gingrich if he doesn't overwhelm the voters in Georgia.
All right, Jerry Bonin, thank you so much, news director, KTOK, Oklahoma City. He's going to do the news. Rusty, by the way, Michael Berry just emailed me, wanted to make sure I said hi to you. He's a huge fan.
He's a great guy, and it's good to hear from him. Now, there's one other state that the news director missed, and that was he's got to do well in Georgia and Tennessee. He spent a lot of time and a lot of effort in Tennessee. The problem with Tennessee, though, is that darn early voting. I hate early voting because things change, and if there was no early voting in Tennessee, Newt Gingrich should probably walk away with it. But because of early voting, Rick Santorum has a real good shot of making a big inroad there, and that's what's going to really hurt Newt today.
All right, real quick, does he drop out if he doesn't do well then, Rusty?
For him, it's a cause, too. Money is a big issue. I don't think he drops out tomorrow, but at this point, if he doesn't do well in Georgia and Tennessee, he's going to have to start thinking about it. I know Newt personally. I know his family very well. He really is in it to win it. And
I got to go to Simon while I've got time here. Simon, what do you think? Who drops out if they don't do well? Are you on board with Gingrich?
Well, first I want to point out to Rusty that I'm personally a fan, not a huge fan.
We all are, aren't we? We're all fans of Humphreys.
That's right.
This could be the first time in modern history we may witness a four-candidate convention. Newt, I think, is the most likely to go, but I don't think he goes tomorrow. And it's going to come down to money and what the super PACs are prepared to do, how long they're prepared to stay in this thing. I don't think the candidates are any longer in control of their own destiny because it is about the money, and the super PACs are maybe have too much control, some could argue, but I think they're in control. They will decide who the plug is being pulled on.
All right, gentlemen, I thank you so much. Big fan of all of you. Appreciate you getting up early and joining us here. Rusty Humphreys, Jerry Bonin, Simon Conway, roundtable here this morning. Always good to hear from you guys.